to the Zoom Test Kitchen, where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in the fun, engaging way.
Well, hi-de-ho, everybody. Welcome to the kitchen. Good to see everybody. It looks like it's a small group today. Maybe more people will come join us. We've got a lot of zoominess to. We didn't even start last week on any of the updates, and there's a lot. There are a lot of updates, but I'll just real quick say hi. Let's say hi to Jason. Hey, Jason.
Hello. Greetings, friends. Good to see y'all. Happy New Year, David.
Happy New. Well, thank you. Same to you. Ray Franklin. Ray's where all the Jews live. In what is that? What's it? In the village. What? Yeah, that's like the other promised land, like right there.
It's an amazing community in Central Florida where everybody has golf carts. There are when you approach any public space like the Publix grocery store, the first row is for handicap. The second row, 10 rows are for golf carts.
Really?
And those of us with
know that.
Teslas have to live, park and walk. The network of 2-lane golf cart paths exceeds that of the network of walking paths or driving, because that's the way everybody gets along. Everybody's got a garage and a half, and not because they're golfers, but that's how they get around the community.
That's how you get around. I didn't
Today-
realize that, like, the Publix supermarkets had special.
And I drove through. I have a picture I'll share with you. I drove up to Publix the other day, and there were 3 golf carts in the drive-it-through line to pick up the prescriptions.
Wow.
That's a statement.
Well, look, it's safer than having them driving on the road, I guess. So
Whoever
Well, my
they
other thought was, does it apply to drinking and driving when you're on the golf cart path?
separate legislation. Not sure.
That's what I'm thinking. You go down to the town center, knock back a few, and get on your golf cart, and hey, you're good.
It's like 5 town centers in the massive
Even better.
town center to town center. Anyway, that's my last advertisement for the villages in Central Florida.
Move to the villages. Get a golf cart. You don't need to move to the villages anytime soon. You're the spring chicken of the bunch.
No way. I do not believe that. I bet I have some of you guys beat on age for sure.
It doesn't show. How are you? Good.
Doing
Good.
well.
Good. Hey, Tony.
Selfishly, I'm
Oh.
glad you didn't get to the updates, because I look forward to going
I'm
over
with
them.
you. I'm with you.
Selfishly,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Tony, how you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. It's wonderful to have you here, in fact. And we got some meters now, and we got Hasmuk here, and John Idelson is here, and I didn't miss anyone. All right. So first order of business. Yes, we do all need to update our apps, but breaking news that we just all received, if you are signed up for the Liminal newsletter, that they just sent out that there's an updated timeline information. I can't make this any bigger. I apologize. There's an updated timeline information about the retiring of the Liminal store. So as you probably know, or may not know, when all this fun started with Liminal apps like Zoom OSC and Zoom ISO and Zoom Cuts and Graphics Toolkit and all those things, you bought them through liminalet.com because it was a separate thing. They were then merged into Zoom, and the purchasing of those is now a part, or became a part, of the Zoom Events portion of Zoom. You could still get them through Liminal, but that is going away. So that's going away officially February 1st. So what that means for anyone who's currently using it is, if you have your license through Liminal ET, on October 3rd, they will no longer sell Zoom ISO and Zoom OSC licenses from the Liminal web store, but existing license keys will continue to function until February 1st, 2026. Then, starting on February 1st, 2026, you'll need to get it through the Zoom Events website. And the email actually does a nice job of explaining exactly how to do that. If you are a monthly subscriber, you will no longer be able to do monthly subscription billing for legacy device-based license keys starting October 3rd. So basically, all active keys are going to be extended through February 1st. Until February 1st, you won't be able to purchase any more. You won't be able to go month to month. And then February 1st, you'll have to switch over to the Zoom portal, which is much cheaper anyway. It's a significant savings over purchasing it through liminalet.com. So that's the breaking news. Anything to say about this? Anything exciting or interesting about this? I don't think so. No? Okay. Beautiful. Um, let's. Should we talk updates? I don't know if it, unless anyone has a thing that they need to like get off their chest or a
I
question.
have a thing,
You have a
but
thing.
it can wait.
No.
It's
Do your
about
thing.
it's about an 8,000 Zoom event that took place on Sunday night.
An
So I don't know if you want to.
8,000. Wait, what?
It was an 8,000 Zoom event that took place on Sunday night.
What's an 8,000 Zoom event?
They were. It was what kind of. I really wanted to talk to the community about it because it was a paid Zoom event that was for 5,000. The license was for 5,000, and there were 8,000 people. It before it ended, there was near 10,000 people. It took place on Sunday evening. There were a variety of different speakers. Former Vice President Harris was one of the speakers. Lot of
Oh, it was a
lot of
political thing. Okay.
it really wasn't a.
Well, I just
a
meant you had like political figures there. That's all I meant.
there were
Yeah.
political figures there, but what I want to talk about is the infrastructure that had to take place in order for that. How do you manage purchasing a license for 5,000 people, and then there are near double that there,
Yeah.
and how do you manage the overflow and that kind of thing? And so, as I said, it could be something that we could talk about later if you want to.
I mean, Jason said there's a PPA, a pay per attendee. Someone was coughing up a lot of money. That's very true. So this is, if you go, do you know if it was a Zoom event or just a webinar?
I did ask Clark Lopez Waterman about it, and he sent me to a page that had $2,500 for 5,000 people.
Right. So here on the Zoom webinars and events pages, if you just do webinars, see, but this is Zoom events, and that's well. So wait a second. Workplace is now okay. Workplace is just meetings. So webinars, if you want a webinar for 5,000 people as a monthly subscription, that's $2,500 a month.
Okay.
Right? If you do annual, you save 16%, and it's $25,000 a year. If you want 10,000 people, that's $6,500. That's just the webinar. That's not Zoom events at all. And if you want 10,000 plus, which you can get, you have to contact sales.
Okay.
I think they just announced the 10,000 participant mark. I think. Not long ago.
They've had the capability, but I think, and as far as the pricing menu. Now, pull down the prices on the event side.
I just want to point out that number of attendees up to 100,000. I mean, that's just
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
And you can still stream after that.
Right.
So my question is, you pay for 5,000 and you get you get near the 9,000.
Right.
Do you upgrade in the middle of that, or do you?
I think I could be wrong here, but I think if you upgrade while people are joining, it will kick in. Is that right, Jason?
That has been my experience when I've had a similar event. You get a notification at the 80% mark. And so then if you go into the portal and you buy now and change your subscription up to the next level, that capacity rolls in within near instant.
Wow. Zoom webinar.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, it is a good problem to have.
And there were 4,000 that were on YouTube.
4,000 watching on YouTube. Yeah.
Well, don't they bump you to YouTube if they're at excess capacity? I think that's the routine.
I think you have to set that up as the event host. There's a little checkbox.
There's a checkbox to send people to YouTube at a certain point.
Yeah, something that basically says, "Thanks, folks. We're full. Here's the link. Join us on our stream."
Gotcha. JC, you're coming in a little hot, by the way, and Hasmuk is taking it personally, so you should.
10-4. Man, I'm down at 50% already. All right, some auto gain must have kicked in. All right, there we go.
That's a lot of folks to have on. You know, the interesting thing to me, unless you're taking attendance, or maybe you could argue the Q&A. I'm not quite sure that I fully understand the difference between having 10,000 or 100,000 people on a webinar and having 10,000 or 100,000 people on YouTube. Other than collecting data from, collecting emails and that. I don't know. I just
where I've done it, a couple of things is number one, in your event design. So if you've got the LED wall behind the stage that's displaying the audience, right? 10,000 people looks a lot more impressive than 5.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that.
That's
right.
One. The other thing is too, if these additional people coming in were part of an upsell, hey folks, we're near capacity. If you still want to join us, click here, blah, blah, blah. This is what you get. You get an after event private Q&A with the panelists. You get a meet and greet. You get a whatever, right? Then there's that, because you can shut off the YouTube for the freebies and say, okay, thanks, show's over, and then everyone else stays for the after party.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Do you think that there were people that were a part of this community that ran this event?
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if the events team was involved. I know that they've been involved in public facing events like that in the past. So, but I don't know. It certainly wouldn't surprise me.
Well, thank you for letting me
before Tiles
some
came
questions
out
about it.
Yeah, before Tiles came out, I remember someone from the events team. I forget if it was here or privately with me, saying something like, I can't say anything, but look at this event that we did. That's going to be coming soon, or something like that. And they were using it, in the back end. So, what's on your mind?
Thanks, David. So first of all, I have to say that those meters kind of scare me because I have no idea what they do and what my numbers are supposed to be. So Hasmuk, please don't get mad at me. Yeah, exactly.
Hasmuk, do you want to real quick? Do you want to give us the 30-second primer on how to use the?
Yeah, you just aim for between 26 and 24 on that top left corner. As I'm speaking, you can see I'm floating around 26, 27. So that's more or less the objective, to manage how you sound, so everybody is at the equal level. And that's called LUFS. And to measure that, you have to speak a sentence or two. It's not just a word or yeah.
And it's inverse. So the louder you are, the lower the number is. And so you can see that I just got excited about saying inverse, and so it got very loud, but it went very low.
Okay, that is a lot of multitasking for my brain, but I can see that number is no good, and I don't know what to do. What do I do? It's blue and minus 32. Like now, what do I do?
So you're a little low. So your audio is a little low.
Okay, so I need to talk louder? I need to talk louder.
Or move the mic a little closer. I'm not sure what your audio setup is, but you can.
All right.
Oh, you definitely move the mic closer. I know you. It looks like, to me like you don't like having it in.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's the challenge.
All right. Thank you for that.
That's why I wear a black shirt and I make sure my mic is black, so it's not quite as obvious that I have this hunking thing sticking out here.
Thank you for that tip as well. Okay. So the chat, I find this feature really helpful, will let you see who has joined and who has left. So Roland joined, Helen left. Do you see that? Everybody sees that, right?
No,
Okay.
wait, what are you talking? Hold on.
Yeah.
Describe what you're talking about?
In the chat?
In the chat. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I'm sorry. So
Okay.
let me just show folks what you're talking about here. So this is down at the bottom of the chat.
Yes.
It says Roland has joined and Helen left.
Yeah. And so sometimes that's really a helpful tool that I use in taking attendance. And I was in an event and there was more than 50 people. And then all of a sudden this thing, whatever it's called, I don't know what that feature within the chat, but it cut out. And basically it was a message like, this can't work anymore. So this feature is being turned off. So does anybody know how to, I don't know what that feature is called within the chat where it shows you who has joined and who has left. And is there a way to keep that on all the time within settings? Does anybody know?
Is that your primary attendance report?
No, it's not. I mean, I'll sort the gallery view as well. That's an easy way for me to do it. But it is just helpful for me to at a glance look up and there was 24 and now there's 22 who's left, right? So it tells me who's left and it's really easy to see just like that.
I don't know what that feature is called, but for attendance tracking purposes, especially if you're doing CEUs or something like that, there is a report in the Zoom web portal. It's the attendance detail tracking. There's a summary and there's a detail. The summary would say David joined at 3 o'clock and was on for 89 minutes. The detail would show David was in the waiting room for 1 minute, then came into the main room for 43 minutes, then went into the breakout room, then came back in the main room, then logged off.
Which you can see afterwards, Jason, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously as a report. So this is just something I sometimes use live in the moment that I find helpful. So
I'm not sure that that's actually like a feature. Like when I think of a feature, I think of something that they sort of intentionally added. I think that this is just here.
It wasn't always here though, David. Like it's been here for a good long while, but it wasn't always here. At least I didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
What happens if you query the AI companion? I wonder if this is a backdoor feature of AI companion.
Oh.
You know what? I guess
Right, because it's about that same time that the functionality came in with AI 1.0. So what happens if you query the AI, tell me who's left the meeting in the last 10 minutes?
I'm thinking now I have a couple of questions. So the first question I have is, it says and everyone else for that matter, Ray, joined as a guest. I wonder what as a guest means, because Ray
part
is
of your domain. They're not part of your account.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, and then thank you. That was easy. And then the second thing is, I wonder if that's there because many people. I don't know if this is true, but I would imagine that more people would have the chat open than have the participants panel open. And so having that data over here makes sense because like I could see it right in the participants. I can see who's here and who isn't here. It also gives you a little bit of a timestamp, not an exact timestamp. It gives you an idea of when they left because you could look at the chat timestamp before or after.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
David, you just turned on AI because I just got the companion pop up.
I didn't do anything.
I did, and I posted it.
Okay.
Now I've turned it on.
That.
Or now I don't know if I actually turned it on. I just opened it for myself.
Yeah, it was on, and I inquired. I said, "Can you tell me about when somebody comes and goes from the meeting?" And it says, "I can't provide real-time notifications about meeting participants joining or leaving. This functionality is beyond my current capabilities." But now that Luminal is part of, it didn't say that part.
Yeah.
When I asked the
So-
question, who has left the meeting in the last 10 minutes, it says, according to my search results, no one has left the meeting in the last 10 minutes, which is a correct answer if Ray had just turned it on in the last 90 seconds or so.
But did you turn it on, Ray, or is it?
I don't believe so.
No, I don't think you did. I think it's always on.
I can only stop it because it's set on by, there's a, for a co-host, there's an option to stop AI companion, but in the setup, you preload whether AI companions starts at the beginning and who has access to it and that kind of thing.
And I can guarantee you, under the account in which this happened, he does not have AI companion enabled. 100% he doesn't have it enabled. And
I
this
have it.
feature,
Oh, you mean in the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
correct.
I clearly have it.
Yeah.
Well,
So do
I'll
I.
test it out because, like I said, I just got the pop up on just maybe 2 minutes ago or so. And it says meeting is being transcribed by companion. So now that it is transcribing, I will leave the event at 3:25 and then come back later and we can ask AI if it noticed or not.
Perhaps.
So
Yeah.
I just want to say that in the settings for this meeting, I have allow users to ask AI companion questions about the meeting turned on, and I have it automatically allow access when the meeting starts for all participants and invitees. And then the meeting summary with AI companions, I basically have everything turned on for this
Mhm.
meeting.
And it says, Aaron, where you were talking about, says Jason has left. It didn't say when,
Mhm.
but if he's a good guy, I'll let him back in a minute when he
Okay.
shows up.
left the meeting in the last 5 minutes.
Say Lois showed up, which was a good thing.
So
she's
I'm
so
asking
quiet,
it now
you never know
how
when
many
she's
people have left the meeting in the last 5 minutes. Is thinking. According to my search results, I don't have information about people who have left the meeting in the last 5 minutes. Huh.
It doesn't seem to have any access there.
When I got here, I asked AI to tell me what had happened so far, and it did a big long thing. So I don't know when it got on, but it seems to have been here for a while.
So yeah, what I think I'm forgive me, I don't fully understand this, but I think it's on by default for every meeting. For it should be. That's what I have it set to. Automatically allow access when the meeting starts is what I have it set to. Where's my mouse? Let me see here. Recommended that AI companion automatically starts transcribing at the beginning of the meeting. This was the most accurate. Yes. Okay. In the meantime, I just asked it who spoke last, and it is analyzing. It doesn't know what to do with this.
I asked it who left after 3:24 Eastern time because Jason left after 3:24 and AI said nobody did.
Yeah.
So,
Jason, you wrote your question in the chat, not in AI companion. So I can tell you who just joined the meeting, Jason, if you'd like.
and one more thing on the chat. Usually I get notifications up top for any of the chat, like everyone and direct messages. And I was in a meeting where there were no notifications popping up. And does anybody know if that, I thought that would be an automatic thing, like the notifications were not popping up. And I was missing things, especially the direct one-to-one
that
messages.
is a setting, I believe. If you look at the little the little arrow next to chat, there's a show chat previews option. And I believe that that's what that is.
Show
In fact,
chat.
I'll turn mine off. If someone could chat something real quick.
Where is that?
Yeah, so I'm not seeing those chats pop up. Now let me turn it back on. And if someone else could chat something else. Oh, I still didn't see it. Okay. Now I'm not seeing anything. I wonder why. Wonder what that is.
Once you have a chat window open, doesn't it suppress the little?
Oh, is that what it is?
I
Maybe
mean,
that's what it is.
I think it's either the window or the little.
Oh, I think you're right, Lois. Great call. Can
I don't
someone else chat? I
understand.
just
Sorry.
closed my window. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
What is it?
Wow. Thank you, Lois. So did you get that,
No.
So if you have your chat window open,
Yes.
you're not going to see the pop-ups on your meeting. You only see the pop-ups on the meeting if your chat window is closed.
Can you put something in the chat?
Sure.
And I guess they assume that if the chat window is open, you're going to see it.
Right.
Right.
I'm
I
getting
think-
notifications. Mine's popped open. David, I messaged you privately. I don't know if you can say something to me. I got the one to everyone as a notification and it's popped out. Yeah, and I just got yours and it's popped out.
But you're seeing it in your meeting? It's coming up like a captions would come up in your meeting?
This
I've
needs to
got
be
it up-
visual.
Up top here.
Can you grab a screenshot and show it to us? Or
Yes, I can.
you want me to send you another message so it comes up?
No, got it.
You got it? Okay. So that's interesting. So you have chat open, but you are seeing it. Huh.
And do you on the chat you can have two windows. One says everyone, one says whoever you've talked to. So
So wait a
it
second.
would make
So-
a difference if you're just looking at one person's thing that you might or might not see
Oh, yeah.
a pop-up of the everyone.
So,
So, you're
Erm, this is
looking-
a floating sidecar. That's how you have your chat panel. It's just a floating sidecar
Yeah.
tile. Okay.
Yeah.
Close it. Like totally hit the red
Yep.
X on there. Okay.
Yep.
Down in
Yep.
your Zoom toolbar, or wherever your Zoom toolbar happens to be, you'll
Yeah.
see the chat icon, and then just to the right of it, the little caret.
Yep.
And if you on that caret, it says show chat previews, and there's either a check mark or not by it. Make sure that there is a check mark.
Got it. That's where it was.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
now
Yeah.
here comes the chat message, and now you have a little balloon pop up on your
Yeah.
screen.
So I must not in this meeting. That must have been turned off.
Yeah,
So
so it's
there's
two
two
things. You have to have the
pieces,
chat
though. Right.
panel closed.
Yep.
It can't be floating. It can't be docked on the side.
Yep.
And then in that setting, you have to have preview on for that little bubble. It almost looks like a open caption kind of thing to happen.
But we just confirmed I can have it floating. I just need to have that checked.
Okay.
So it'll work when
No, there are two different things. If you can pop out any window from Zoom. So for example, I always keep my Zoom meeting full screen. By default, when it's full screen, everything pops out. So my participants panel pops out, my chat pops
Right,
out, it's
right.
unattached. That's independent from show me chat previews.
yes. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. All I'm saying is that the preview will show up whether it's popped out or whether it's attached. It will show up in both.
Correct.
Yes. That's all.
Correct.
Thanks, everyone.
And thank you, Lois, for I had never realized that you don't. I mean, it makes perfect sense. You don't get it on your meeting when you have it popped out.
Shoot
sorry,
a
when you
chat
have
again.
chat open.
There might be a difference.
Hold on. Hi there.
Okay, so in Apple, if you have chat window open, you're still getting a preview. In Windows,
No.
No, I'm
if
not.
chat no, if chat
don't.
window's open, we don't get a preview. So
I don't get it. I don't
I
get a
don't.
preview.
I don't get a preview if the
No,
window.
preview. Can we just clarify our terms? When we talk about preview, chat preview, we're talking about the captions looking thing
Right.
over the meet. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we don't get that in Apple
that's-
when it's open.
Okay.
And if you go to the chat caret, you can turn on or off the show chat previews. Mine is on, but I'm not seeing it because I have a chat window popped out. I'm going to close that, and if someone would be kind enough to say hello or something.
So I just turned off both. I turned off my chat
I
window.
hear you. I see
Right.
you.
So I turned off my chat window and I turned off the previews. And the only indication that I have is there's now a little red circle and number over the chat icon in the menu bar, which makes perfect sense.
But you could turn on preview. You could.
Correct. That's actually a really good thing to know. That was a great question, Erm.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you know what? I forgot to show you all. When I opened this meeting up, wait, this is actually important. I screenshotted it and I saved it. I had a new, where is it? Where is it? Oh no. I had a new, oh goodness gracious. Did I delete it? I got a new pop-up that said that there are now new auto recognize hand gestures. There are new hand gestures now. There's the heart, which
I turned it off.
Right, I just turned mine on.
There you go.
There's
Okay.
a heart, and there's I actually don't know what else there is, but what are they? Let's see. There are new ones. All right, there's double thumbs up for celebration.
This used to
There's-
drive me crazy.
Oh,
in-
look
in-
at that. That's cute. There's an
in
okay
Apple.
sign. Okay. The problem is, if you ask me, it takes too long. Like here's okay.
We got it, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's thumbs down, thumbs up. Ooh, and then now this is interesting. We have to be careful of this. So that's interesting, right? So that the hand raise one, I'm thinking about our show, Lois, and how to get our attention and stuff. Sometimes we put our hands up, and now it will actually raise your hand if you have this turned on.
Well, I don't have it turned on. Why would
No,
I
I know,
turn
I know.
that stuff on? I mean, I gesture with my hands all the time. Do I really want things flying out of there?
Right. But I did see that as a pop-up when this meeting first started. I thought I'd screen shared it. I'm sorry. I didn't capture it. Hey, Roland, how you doing? Or were you just testing?
Well, that's interesting. Your video is off and it'll still see your
Yeah.
gesture.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's you're right. That's interesting, right? The
Yeah.
camera is still capturing, even though your camera's off. That is really interesting. But I bet, I mean, obviously, if you have some sort of physical shutter off, then it wouldn't work.
You mean like that?
No, that won't. Well, yeah.
Shouldn't. Yeah. That's very NSA like software.
NSA?
National Security. No such agency.
Oh, yeah. I met a man upon the stair, the little man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I think he's from the CIA.
Yeah, Roland was just testing. What else did you have? Do you have a couple other things?
Let's get to updates. Thank you, though. Maybe
You
if there's
sure?
time at the end. But yes, and Roland was also asking about auto framing, which I replied to in the chat. But yeah, that was an update. So yeah.
Auto framing. Wait, tell us about the auto framing.
It's one of the updates. I'll let somebody else.
Hopefully we'll play around when David takes us through the updates. Okay. All right, let's do it then. All right, so here we go. We are So by the way, there have been 2 other releases since the big one, but they're just bug fixes. And one of them was on the 15th. Sorry, one was on the 19th, and one is coming up. That was for Windows, and one is coming up for Mac OS on the 29th on Monday. Just minor bug fixes. They don't even list them. So the big one, though, was 6.6. They're ending support for 13 and 14, iOS 13 and 14, ending support for Android 8.0 and 8.1. They removed live streaming to Meta because Meta ended live streaming. Users can reset their presence status through a reset option. Okay. Expanded language support, automated captioning support, Afrikaans, Arabic, Bengali, Catalan. These are, wow, there are so many. Oh, and it's interesting. And others were rolled back. A number of different English ones were rolled back because for issues. All right. Voice recorder with AI companion. So this is voice recorder is this guy here. Let me see if I can share it with you. Apple TV. All right, give this 1 second to cook up here, and then I'll show it to you. There we go. All right. So in your iPhone app now, this is not new. This piece is not new. There's now a record button on the right-hand side, and if I click that, it automatically starts recording. And the idea here is that you're in a live meeting and you're sitting with other people, and you want to be able to use AI Companion for this non-Zoom meeting. And so now it's doing that, and it identifies the speakers. It doesn't know who the names are. You can apparently go back in and adjust that later. I was really excited about this when it first came out. And then when I realized I couldn't actually edit any of what came out of it, like any of the summary, it became almost unusable for me. So the truth is I haven't looked at it since this came out, but this says that now you can enable smart name tags, which is great. So if you have a meeting where people are signing up, so you know who's there ahead of time, you can assign name tags, which will make this work much, much better. Okay. Video auto framing. Wait, I have to stop. It's still recording me. Sorry. Okay.
Sorry, David, your screen isn't looking as clean as it normally does. It looks blurry.
Yeah, I don't know why. Let me look at my who's he what's it's. What are those things called? Let me look at my what I'm sending. Sometimes it just likes to not be statistics video. I'm only sending 640. I don't know why. I don't know why. I am in speaker mode. My screen share is huge. I might just need a restart.
You don't have on anything like portrait lighting?
No.
Okay.
No, I keep all that stuff off.
Is that rate for the camera, or is it rate for your screen share?
Well, I'm not technically screen sharing. Everything I do is through a camera. So this is I'm looking at the video statistics right now, which are showing 640 through 360. And I don't know why. I don't know why that is.
So if you stopped the screen share and just had you on the camera, would that change?
Let's try. So now it's down. Oh, am I spotlit still? I am. See, that's
Well,
weird.
I've got you pinned, so even if you're not spotlit, it's...
No, but I'm sending. So I just unspotlit and respotlit myself.
Something is off. Your quality is not your normal.
No, it's there's something definitely off because I'm sending 320. You know what? I'm gonna pass host and I'm gonna restart and see if that Ray. I'm gonna pass host to you if that's okay. Is that okay, Ray? Are you there?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back. I'm gonna restart and see what happens.
David, who? A little power corrupts a little.
I'm looking for the little pop-up in the chat window that says David has left the meeting.
Yeah.
So now, since we have a new host, you could make me a co-host.
I could, but I don't have the power to do that. I've just been.
Sure you are. You're host.
I've only got a temporary host.
That's okay. Host can do that.
It says right there. Be careful. Now, I haven't looked at my stats are, what I'm sending.
While we're looking at that, I have a little bit more detailed question on this. I want to make sure I get the terminology right. What do they call it? The voice recognition and the automatic smart tag. Okay, so the documentation says create a voice recording to be used for voice recognition features in Zoom services. If you enable this, then it adds your name as a speaker for features such as meeting summary or transcriptions. You're asked to make a smart recording enabled to do this. Okay, so Dave has a meeting, or Roland has a meeting, or Ray has a meeting. I join the meeting as a guest, meaning not in their domain, not in their account, but I have made a smart recording in the Zoom enterprise, yada, yada. I wonder if it recognizes me. Like, how is that data separated and segregated? Or is it just like everyone who makes a voice recording, it will recognize everyone in the world regardless when they join a meeting anywhere? I mean, I don't see that in the documentation, but I'd imagine I'd have to dig pretty deep if it's even in there.
How would you use it?
Well, more importantly, it's when would you not use it, right? I mean, if you're having security concerns, let's say you're using this as a channel with a certain media, you've got the end-to-end encryption turned on, yada, yada, yada. And if it recognizes a voice stamp of someone and pops it in the transcript, that might be an issue that you're not really thinking of at the host level when you're going through and setting up an event. I mean, this is another detail way down in the weeds that you would have to ensure were turned off.
Yeah, you don't want it to show up in the record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if I'm internal to the organization, right, like you're using the Zoom government version or the Zoom military version, or you've got it behind your firewall or whatever, and somebody joins the meeting from the field, but the camera isn't on or the camera isn't transmitted for whatever reason, but the audio is clear, and they say, here's the deal, this is the order, and there's a voice stamp that authenticates, yep, that came from General so-and-so. Like, I could see where that's useful inside a fence if you've got your data fenced off. But if that same person just hops on any Zoom anywhere in the world, I could see where that would not be a good thing.
Just one more thing you got to set up in advance. Well, we have time while David's gone to and cover some of the updates. Let's get back to some of the other things that aren't on the update list. What have you got on your list that we haven't covered?
I have a question about audio, but does anybody else have something that they're trying to troubleshoot? Because I've already had a turn, so.
You're up.
All right, thank you. It's regarding our favorite audio. So, and I use Ecamm. And my first, I guess, curiosity is that in my audio settings, like right now, I have two options as a microphone. This is the compressor Volt 276, or it's same as system using the Zoom virtual mic. Sometimes I get Ecamm virtual mic showing up as a third, and sometimes I don't. So that's already, it's like, why does the Ecamm mic on its own sometimes show up and sometimes it doesn't? And the other thing is, do you have to ensure that I use a Mac? So do I have to ensure that my audio input and output settings in my Mac are going to sync up with what I'm going to choose in Zoom? Like, I just kind of always thought that Zoom superseded, or Ecamm for Zoom, whatever I'm using, that is going to sync up in my computer and my Mac settings. But sometimes I find that they don't. And I don't understand how that all works. I don't know if I've even explained the question properly. I just want to make sure that if I need to be watching for something, that I'm doing it ahead of meetings and not trying to troubleshoot in the moment.
What is the default in your Mac system for microphone? And what do you have it on in Zoom now? I have that question from a Windows standpoint, so I can relate to it, but I've never paid attention to it. Jason says the operating system dominates the dependent. It's dependent on the order that you loaded or opened your software.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought, because that's what I'm noticing. So to answer your question right now, Ray, when I open up my system settings, my input says Ecamm Live Virtual Mic. Now, in Zoom, that setting is same as system Zoom Virtual Mic. So it must mean the same thing, even though today it's not listing the Ecamm mic separately in Zoom, and sometimes it does.
Question for you, Arm.
Yeah.
Did you today, just now, did you open Zoom first, Ecamm second?
No, I copied the link into Ecamm. So I opened with Ecamm.
Okay.
And I have noticed that, Jason. It's like depending on what order it's in, it'll make a difference. Yeah.
Because the handshake doesn't happen. It doesn't, for whatever happens when you open up a piece of software and then the operating says, okay, it's this software, it needs these drivers, it has these permissions to control these other things. Okay, got it. And then when the next piece of software opens and queries the available devices,
right.
If Ecamm didn't finish talking to Windows, then the next piece of software isn't going to pull those settings out. The workaround is you just say, yeah, whatever the system says, which if you've talked to the operating system and you're good there, then you should be good downstream. But if everything has loaded properly and all that recognition has taken place, then it will be the same in Zoom, it'll be the same in Teams, and it's not just audio, same thing for your camera drivers, whether it recognizes your camera's virtual or real connected. It's in that. Mike Lotta could tell you exactly down to the detail how the driver firing off works and the handshake, but it's in that process.
Thank you. That's helpful. Sorry, go ahead, Ray.
For Windows, we have the same issue. So it's the precedent, and there's some Windows camera software which will not load if it's the second thing to load. So in other words, if you sign on in Zoom and then you open the camera software, it says, I'm sorry, Zoom already owns me. So that's a Windows problem that apparently does not take place in Mac.
It's that particular one, Ray, is called Priority, and I think there is a version of it in Mac, but I'm not exactly sure. But it's Priority.
So having said all that, would you say there's a definite best practice to always open your Zoom first and then do your Ecamm, or vice versa, or does it really matter?
Well, if you're using Ecamm as the window dressing, the interface that broadcasts out through Zoom or through Teams or whatever, then I would say operating system first, Ecamm second, whatever your transmission platform is third.
Okay, thank you.
Lois, I saw your hand go up.
So I don't use Ecamm or OBS or any of that other stuff. And I have always thought, and we've been recording our radio show for a long time, I always thought that I should go into my Mac settings and make sure that it was as strong as possible. And then when I open Zoom, choose the setting in Zoom as to how much it was, because that gave me the biggest leeway. Is that true? Am I accurate?
So just to make sure, just to make sure I'm understanding, I think what you're talking is, let's just say audio gain. So you're going into your operating system, you're saying, I want my microphone to do this, not do this loud, echo cancellation, no echo cancellation, yada, yada, yada. Okay, boom, stick. Open up Zoom and say, okay, now, given the settings that I just dialed in my operating system, now Zoom, I want original sound with echo cancellation or not. Yes, they should stack. because this was, and just to prove a point, in Windows, this is where we were having the issue where in one of the recent updates, they threw in audio focus, which was this background noise cancellation in the operating system that nobody knew about. And people are like, I'm hitting mute in Zoom and it's not working. I'm wide open and there's no audio. And it was because of that conflict between the audio settings at the operating system level and the desired audio settings at the software level. There was a conflict.
So in my sound, in my Mac under sound, I don't have all those things you were talking about. I basically get to choose which microphone I want to use and what the input volume is. And that's all I get to choose on my Mac. Are you just talking about things that maybe are Windows only?
No, similar, but it's what there might be more bells and whistles in one operating system than another. So on your version of Mac, it may just be what's your mic and how loud do you want it? And there might even be another button that says something like automatically adjust volume.
Yeah, no, okay. Thank you.
Can I
Hello, David.
Yeah, I'm gonna spotlight. There is something going on. I cleaned my computer. I restarted. There's definitely something going on. Although I wasn't getting Jason, and I spotlit you. I was getting you at 640 also, which I don't really understand.
Well, you look much better now.
Do I?
Yes, considerably.
Better, but not as clear as typical.
So my upload, I've got 356 megabytes up. So that's more than plenty. Let me see what I'm sending now. Statistics. I'm still sending 640 over 360.
Something's pulling your video down. What do you got cooking in the background?
Not like literally nothing. I don't know. I'm going to kill Ecamm for a second and see.
Maybe it's a driver conflict.
No, I know you can't. Can you still hear me?
Hear you, yes. But your video's
I know
frozen.
I'm frozen. So let me change my camera to this. Okay.
Ooh,
I know
was
it's
nice.
not framed well, but let's just see.
It's sharp, though.
I'm still at 640 over 360 though. So it's not Ecamm. Huh.
Let me pin you. That resolution's sharper than what you had before.
Did you just jump? I pinned you.
It just jumped up. It just jumped up. Now I'm at 1080.
Yeah.
Now I'm at 1080. So now let me reopen this and see. I'm not convinced it was. Maybe it was Ecamm. What do I know?
You look marvelous.
Oh, thank you so much. See, now it jumped down to 720. That's still better though. And that's going down 630. Come on, keep it up. Okay. Oh wait, I have to change my I didn't change my camera back. Ecamm, live virtual cam. Okay. Let's see. It's holding at 1120 by 630. All right, well, we'll see. Sorry, there's something fluky going on. Something weird. What did I miss? Anything exciting?
It was very exciting, but I forgot.
Oh, okay.
Ask AI Companion.
Hey,
Both
can we talk about...
Both Lois and Jason are very loud according to the meters. Hasmith is back. He left to go nap, and apparently we woke him up again.
So, mentioned auto framing, and that is new. With the video auto framing feature, meeting participants are automatically kept centered in the camera view. So this is if you go to the little, what is this called? Caret next to video. No, I should click the audio one. Sorry. If you do the one next to video, you've blurred my background. and you now have auto frame my video. So when I check that, let's see what happens. Okay, that's not really auto framing. It's basically kind of zooming in and out is what it's doing. Okay. Okay. Now I'm huge. Wait, now I gotta turn it off. So when you turn it off, yeah, it just pops back. Okay. So that's auto framing. I don't really think it's, I guess it is. I mean, the problem with all of these auto framing things, let me turn it back on. The problem with all of these auto framing things is that it never follows the rule of thirds.
Right.
Right? Like my head is too low in the frame. I mean, that did it a little better. Let me see what happens when I go up here.
I think framing is left to right.
No, I think it's using eyeball and nose tracking.
Okay.
I mean, what it's kind of cool actually.
You put your hand in front of your face and see if it follows you. No, keep your hand with your nose, silly man.
Okay. So that's under video and under that little carrot there for video. I didn't realize that. Thank you, Erm.
It's really new, isn't it? I mean, like,
yeah, this came out in 6.6.
okay.
Yep,
Because
absolutely.
Erm says she doesn't have it, and I'm wondering if maybe you're not up to date, Erm? She's up to date.
I am. I feel like the problem child today. I am. I
Wait,
had it
really?
today. Yeah, the auto framing showed up the other day. Today it doesn't. I saw that it popped up for you when you use your eCam. It doesn't matter if I'm just using eCam or my regular whatever camera. It's just not showing up. But it's
Well,
fine.
wait
Like
a
I said,
second. Are you using eCam for Zoom? It's not going to show up in eCam for Zoom.
yes, I'm using eCam for Zoom.
No, it's not going to be there.
Fine. Thank you.
And it's not going to be there because the SDK gets updated after the app gets updated, and then eCam has to update to use the latest SDK. So you're not going to have it in eCam for Zoom. You're only going to have it in vanilla Zoom for right now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to vanilla.
And that's true for any of these apps that are using the SDK. Excuse me. But that's cool. That's why, this is the only meeting that I ever join from vanilla Zoom, and I do it so that I can play with, the new fun stuff that comes out. Yeah. Am I still spotlit? Sorry about that.
I have a question here, which has to do with the transcription. The closed show captions turn on or off. If you turn it on, then it starts making a transcript, and you can look at the full transcript. You can view full transcript. So is that, if you looked at view full transcript, what would be the first thing you saw? And I'm going to ask Ray this because David's been gone and back. Is 1234 the first time you have, Ray? Or anybody?
Sorry, just real quick, Lois. Where do you see view full? I have transcript.
Go down to CC show captions, and there's a little carrot.
Captions. I'm sorry.
CC, yeah, show captions. And next to it, the carrot says view full transcript. Or if it's open, it'll say close full transcript. And that's what I'm looking at. It's the full transcript.
So my full transcript, for what it's worth, starts with when I open it.
So
like when I open transcript.
What's your first time?
16:02:53, okay. Which is when you said it's 1, 2, 3, 4 the first time you have Ray or anybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but you came in, you left and you came back.
No, but it has nothing to do with when I came back.
That's what I'm asking, Jason.
It's when I open the transcript window. That's when it starts from.
Same experience. 16:02, 28 seconds.
Okay. So
now, if I save transcript,
I've got a lot more than you do then.
It's dependent upon when you open the transcript. Now, what I don't know is two things. If I save transcript, does it save at the same time that I opened it? In my case, 160228. And then two, when David ends the meeting and the meeting assets become available to everybody that joined, the transcript being one of those, presumably the time would be different depending upon when the host started the transcript or if it was automatically enabled at meeting beginning. Could be different.
The host didn't, so David didn't start a transcript. I did. And he said he can't see what I see.
Ray was the host of the meeting earlier.
Well, before that, David was, and that's when I started this.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's something to check is like when those meeting assets automatically become available to everyone that joined the meeting, if that's the setting that Dave enabled, would it have a different timestamp? Seems like it should.
I'm
When
looking
you
at
say
my
the meeting assets become available, if you haven't opened a transcript and saved it, how would you even see that after the meeting?
well,
There is an option to keep it open after the meeting.
and email and assets you can have them emailed out to people.
Right.
But Lois, I'm so a little bit like the AI companion. It's unclear to me how you start the transcript. I'm looking at my settings. I'm sorry.
You go down there and you say show captions, that CC at the bottom, show captions. As soon as you do that, it starts making a transcript.
Right, but the problem with that is that AI companion is also using the transcript. So the transcript has started
I don't think
before
it's
you.
the same transcript. I think it's a different
So that
thing.
right, that may be the case. I don't know. Now I have in my meeting settings full transcript. I have that turned on. Allow viewing a full transcript in the in meeting side panel, but you can't see the full transcript. At least I can't. I can only see from when I opened the panel, the window.
That's that is your full transcript because you didn't have a transcript before that. You didn't turn on closed captioning, right?
Right, but the way I read this setting, allow viewing a full transcript.
Mm-hmm.
When someone opens the transcript, clicks on the transcript button, they should get the full transcript of everything that's happened. And that's not the experience.
And I'm verifying that if you go in through closed caption, let me quote correctly. So where's my captions?
Can someone clarify what is the connection between closed captions and transcript? Maybe
there is a transcript button in the Zoom toolbar under the three dots. And what I just tested is it accessing the same thing? And the answer is yes, it appears to be accessing the same thing. So if I go in through closed caption, view full transcript, or if I click the transcript button on my Zoom toolbar, or if it's hidden under the three dots more, it does indeed open up the same panel, which says transcript, and for me starts at 16:02:28 when I first turned it on.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that. It's a little strange to me.
Where is the AI transcript? Because if I go to AI, I don't see this. I can ask it things and it'll summarize things, but it's not giving me a transcript of the entire meeting and every.
No, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. What I meant is that it must be keeping a transcript so that it can answer those questions. But you're absolutely right. It's not showing it to us.
The AI queries the transcript.
But I think we have separate transcripts. Obviously, you guys have ones that started at a different time than I do. Is there anybody in the meeting who has not yet clicked on closed captioning, has not started their own transcript?
But let me just clarify one thing, Lois, before someone answers. They're not different transcripts. We're just seeing them begin at different times. It's all this. It's one transcript. It's not making a different transcript for each person. I just can't see prior to when I opened it.
It's like meeting chat.
Right.
But if I can see more than you can see, then I have a bigger transcript than you do.
You have an earlier.
Right?
You just opened it earlier. You
Yes,
have
I
what?
did. And so
right.
I have all this stuff that you can't see because yours starts down here. Ray,
Hello.
Ray.
I've been missing for weeks, but due to busy schedule, and was working on a couple of test things over here. Listening to you guys is like I have to jump in.
Busy
jump.
is
Dude,
good, but we're so happy you're here.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So AI uses the transcript that is formed in the cloud. It does not use a transcript that you have on your computer. And I believe what happens is when you click, I want a transcript, it connects up to the generator that's in the cloud that AI or whatever is doing that transcript and starts to feed that to you. It does not give you a history of anything. It gives you something from the time that you do it, which is why if you want to get it when you first arrive and you click transcript, and the meeting host says, okay, we're done, and ends the meeting before you click save the transcript, you don't have a transcript. But the Zoom cloud recording will have a full transcript from the start of the meeting or of the session.
So my only gripe here is that in my settings it says full transcript. Allow viewing a full transcript, and there's no indication that says users will need to click the transcript button in order to see the full transcript, as opposed to the full transcript from when they press. That's my only gripe.
I don't disagree. I mean, it's Zoom terminology that never really quite makes it.
Yeah. Lois, go ahead.
So Ray, just to be clear, and thank you for clarifying that. I understand the Zoom entity for this meeting is writing everything that everybody says off here in the cloud, and there's something. And then at some point, we say, I want to see that from now on. And just show that to me so that mine starts and his starts, and if nobody else, if somebody doesn't click anything, they never even see that. But then at the end, when I say save transcript, am I going to get the stuff that I could see during the meeting, or am I going to get the whole transcript that was collected out there?
Great question.
You are only going to save the part that was fed to you after you click the start button.
Okay.
The only full transcript is in the cloud recording file as a VTT file.
Which
when they say
can
full
send to your participants.
When
Full transcript is I think. Here's my pejorative thing. As some programmer said, well, okay, we'll just say it's going to be the full transcript, and nobody really, whoever did that didn't really understand. Is it going to be the full transcript from the start to the end, or where is it going to start? They use the term full because it's not just a transcript of what you said, and it's not just a transcript of what two or three of us said. It's a full transcript of what everybody said from the time you click the button.
And I think the full part is if I don't go and look at that, if I just turn on show captions, I'm going to see little pop-up bubbles, right? But they come and they go. Whereas the full transcript has all that stuff concatenated all the way down. I think that's
yeah.
And again, the problem that I'm struggling with is that if I open a transcript from the moment, let's say we're now an hour and 15 minutes into this meeting, if I want to refer back to something from a half an hour ago, opening the transcript now doesn't do me any good because it's only going to give me the transcript starting from now. So I'm not entirely sure what the point of opening the transcript is if you can't go back.
But AI would answer that question.
Yes,
if
absolutely.
you wanted to know something, you just go in and say, because it's got the transcript, and it can answer.
Of course, absolutely. I'm just saying that if you don't want to use the AI thing, like I don't see any harm in scrolling. There's a search feature here. I should be able to do a keyword search in transcript for I don't know, AI, and now it's finding every time that AI. Well, I mean that's a bad example because AI is in almost every word. But if I search for Ray
or Lois,
I'll search for Lois. Lois. It's now highlighting all. It's actually, what's interesting? Sorry, let me just show this because this is weird. So let me undo this. So here's the transcript. And now I'm going to search for Lois.
and it is searching only in the part that was spoken, not in the name of
Right.
spoke.
Right.
Best practice is to start transcript when you start the event, and there you're protected.
Right. But again, when I have turned on in the settings full transcript, that's what I thought I was doing.
Right now,
And
that's what the Zoom
in
test
your own
kitchens are.
individual settings.
Or the meeting settings.
For the meeting settings.
Well, I believe you are probably getting the full transcript in the cloud recording.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just saying that during the meeting, if I want to go back and reference something, I'm not sure what the point of having the transcript
you
here
have
is.
the cloud recording as the owner. You can do that. But if
after the meeting,
if I just appeared and you guys were talking bad about me 20 minutes before I got here, and I just got here and now everyone's being really nice, maybe what they don't want from a security perspective or whatever is for you to be able to go back and say, what were they saying about me before I got here? I don't know.
Sense. That makes sense. You're right. I hadn't thought about that piece of it. Yeah. John is here. Hey, John.
I think what we're getting here is what is an individual's control and what do they see and what does the owner of the meeting have? So in your meeting and in the cloud, you have a full transcript and you have the ability to share that or not share that. You have all sorts of power. Some of the transcript, coming late to a meeting and getting a summary, is not the full transcript. So there's a difference between getting the summary if you came late to a meeting and then going into the full transcript. And that's helping that person who attended late, getting a summary, and then they get into the flow. And that's a completely separate activity than you as the host of the meeting wanting to have a full transcript. And there are multiple settings on what you can do with the transcripts actively during the meeting, what you can do after the meeting, and how you share it with the AI opportunities that Zoom would have. So I think part of the problem is we're using the same word, a tissue, for one that's a northern versus Kleenex versus whatever else you use as a nose blower.
And there's a setting that the host can say, do the attendees get to ask questions from the beginning of the meeting or only from when they started to attend? So if you're going to have a board meeting and you're going to have an executive session or something like that you don't want people to be able to get to, you would set that so that people who just joined can only get things from now.
Right. So here's that.
For example, I just asked AI Companion, what was Erm's first technical question? And I just joined a few minutes ago, and it said Erm's first technical question was about AI Companion's ability to track meeting participants joining and leaving.
Which wasn't, that wasn't actually really the question, but that's okay. So here's where you can set when you're scheduling a meeting. So this is for if you're scheduling a new meeting and you have the same setting over in your PMI settings. This is for AI Companion. There isn't anything that I can see for to do what do you call it, to automatically start the transcript. But again, I don't think that's a thing. Like, I think it just,
if AI is enabled, the recording in the cloud is going to be made for AI to access.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
I get the security piece. That makes a lot of sorry, Lois. I'm just finished my gripe. The security piece that you don't necessarily want someone who comes at 3 o'clock to see what was discussed at 2. I get that. That resonates. That makes sense. I'm thinking about a board meeting when you're in the midst of a big discussion and someone says, but so and so just said, and that person has maybe stepped out, and you want to go back to the transcript and see what they said. And yes, I understand you can ask AI companion. It's a trade-off, and Zoom made one decision.
And if you're in a board meeting and it's a board meeting, then before the meeting starts, you just turn it on in the meeting for you, and then you can go back and look.
You're
So
right.
it
Yes.
doesn't have to exist in all cases, but I think it's quite useful. And I frequently will come into a meeting and turn it on so that I can have that. My biggest irritation is that if I save the transcript, it will come out and it will give, at this time this was said, at this time this was said, with no people. But the people are right there. I can see it on the transcript in the meeting. It says Lois said this and David said that.
That's the new smart tag
But
feature we just talked about, Lois.
it's a smart tag feature.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we just talked about that. Hold on. It is called Smart Recognition, Voice Recognition. Create a voice recording to be used for smart voice quality recognition features in Zoom. This automatically recognizes your voice during mic-enabled interactions, blah, 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 blah. It adds your name as a speaker for features such as meeting summary or transcription.
Do they mean this transcription or do they mean something else?
They mean that I'm going to share my screen. That would be this one here. Okay. So you go into the Zoom web portal, and in your settings, your automatic smart name tags, they call it enroll, and then you create a voice recording, which effectively stamps your voice. And my earlier question around no such agency, does this voice stamp stay fenced off in my account? Or if I attend your meeting as a guest, not in your domain, does it hop the fence and recognizes me in your meeting and puts my name on your transcription?
But this doesn't do it for whoever is speaking. This does it for the individual who has gone and done this extra bit.
Correct.
So it's not changing what I'm seeing in the transcript. I tried, doing select all, copy and paste into another document, and the names don't copy.
But what I'm saying, Lois, is if I make this voice recording and I attend your meeting, what I do not know is whether or not my name, smart tag, appears in your transcription, because this doesn't tell me. And it's possible, but I don't know if the data is fenced off and segregated or if it's across the entire Zoom cloud.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to test it because you don't know if you can turn it off again.
True.
So I have one comment, and if you don't mind, I'd like to share my screen for a moment.
Just ask while you're bringing that up, Ray. Can I just ask where is that smart recognition setting?
It is standby. I am under profile, and first it gives you it gave me a little bubble up at the top. Go to smart recognition, but if you ignore that, you're scrolling down.
Yeah, I got it.
3/4 of the way.
So just let me just show people, Ray. So here you're on your profile. If you just scroll down a little bit, you'll get, this is brand new. I hadn't seen this. Smart recognition. You can upload an image of yourself, create a voice recording, and then the smart name tags. Automatic recognizes you and your voice in a Zoom room during a meeting. Automatic your voice during mic-enabled audio interactions in the Zoom Workplace app. It adds your name as a speaker. Oh, all right. We'll try this after you go. Ray, sorry, go ahead.
So this piece I'm going to share is I started the transcript when we started talking about transcripts, and I saved it, and then I popped it up to look at. And so here's what I see, Lois, and I see the names of the people who have spoken based on their display names. So I don't know, you said you don't see those when you look at a transcript, but the closed captions transcript for me shows the name who spoke and the time.
Is this in the meeting, or is this what you see after you get out of the meeting?
Well, you don't even have to get out of the meeting. When you click Save Transcript, there's another button that says Show This in a Folder, and the folder pops up, and you can double-click it right then, and that's what I'm doing, is I'm looking at this based on the time that I saved it, which was
Thank
at,
you.
1:21.
Thank you.
So,
and the names show up in a text file that you can open with something weird. Okay.
it's just Notepad. It's just a regular text editor.
So, does that mean that you have to save it all the time? You mean keep doing that to get a newer one, or does it automatically update?
The basic answer is yes. When you click save, it saves whatever it has from the time you started it to the time that it's saving. And if you click it, you don't have to click it every 3 seconds to save. But if, for example, you lost your internet connection and then came back, my belief is that, if your Zoom went away and then sort of came back, oh, look, I have an internet connection and start, I think you would have to start with the transcript from there. I don't think it would save everything.
My question is, I always assumed that when you click that save transcript, it was sort of like save chat. At the end of the meeting, when the meeting ends, there would be a chat there, or there would be a transcript there.
I have made that comment several times with Zoom people present, and it's like, that's not the way it works. That I hate that answer, but that's the answer I get.
So
you're correct that it's not working the way we want it to work.
Oh, so that means before the meeting ends, or before one chooses to leave the meeting, you need to push that button again. Right? Oh, y'all froze.
It depends. Yes, if you want to save that transcript. But what Ray is trying to tell you there, the example that you made where you wanted to look at a transcript from a meeting that you were in with the names that are associated with it, that functionality does exist in Zoom within the power of a participant in the meeting, assuming that the host of the meeting has enabled the proper things to allow the transcripts and things to be done.
And I just tested that if I got that transcript I was looking at, when I pushed the save transcript button later, it updated that file. It did not create a second file.
That is correct. If you want to have a copy of that file, you have to rename it, and then when you do the save, it will put it back in, because it uses this Zoom file nomenclature model for keeping track of those files.
So while you all were doing that, I went ahead and I enrolled myself in this so we could see what the experience looks like. Let me see if I can't share this with you.
Enrolled in what, David?
In the voice, in the smart recognition. Sign in. You know what? I'll just do it over here because it'll take too long over there. So basically, it asked me to take an image. You can upload an image, but you could also just, it turned on my camera. It asked for permission to turn on my camera. So I did a picture. And then for the voice recording, I'm not going to click update because I just did it, but it basically gives you a little silly little script to read, about 30 seconds. And then you record it. And then once you do that, you can then say, for Zoom Rooms or for the Workplace app, you're enrolled. And then do you want external Zoom Rooms to be able to identify you for voice or video? And then the same thing for down here, notify me when a smart name tag for voice is attributed to my account. Now, I can't imagine this is going to work. Well, it actually doesn't matter if it'll work in this meeting. The question is if someone else started a meeting that I wasn't the host of.
So if I may, I went to one of my favorite AI tools and said, tell me about this smart piece. And if you look at, well, let me pull up the screen share. If my Windows will stop doing that other stuff. Where is it? Oh, there we are. That one. Basically, this is the news.zoom.com Zoom Smart Name Tags Enhance Engagement and Inclusivity in Zoom Meetings. But this apparently is something that is beta for Zoom Rooms, and I can see where it might be advantageous in a Zoom room where there are 3 or 4 or 5 people in there to be able to have something that AI will go, is that David back in the corner actually saying that? I hear a thing that sounds like his voice, and oh yeah, it looks like his face. We'll attribute that to David in a Zoom room setting. I don't think it really is going to do anything in here where Zoom actually uses the separate audio files and knows exactly who's speaking because it goes, David's audio is active and John's audio is not active.
Yeah, you're 100% right. This is why it's really mostly meant, I think, for Zoom Rooms. Go ahead, John.
Right, I was just going to say it's sort of the obvious. I didn't realize that people didn't quite connect with that. When you're in a Zoom room, and there's 5 of you in a Zoom room, the transcript will report the name that room is from. It's this feature that lets you identify 2 or 3 speakers who are in that room. So what they say gets credited to them, not to the name of the room. And if we had that on here and my wife, who you've seen in the room every once in a while, would come in and say something to me, which is usually that I have other things I should do, it would recognize her voice if she was registered.
I think that I'm finally understanding that this is for when you have one microphone and several speakers, that it's distinguishing between the people speaking into one microphone, not each person has their own microphone like we have here. Is that right?
And that, by the way, is where the voice recorder piece of the Zoom app on the phone, that's where that could come in handy. I'm not sure that it doesn't say here that I mean, maybe it does. It says automatically recognize your voice during mic-enabled audio interactions in the Zoom Workplace app. So that isn't 100% clear, but that what I showed before, the record function, that is a mic-enabled audio interaction in the Zoom Workplace app. So it should.
And it would be a place where the individual audios are not coming in from our individual feeds. And so if you've got the recorder on and there are 3 people in the room, hey, let's talk about this. I'll just record it. It would, if they each had a profile, it would figure out who was saying what.
Yep, exactly.
I don't think it's limited just to Zoom Rooms, though. I totally get the functionality of Zoom Rooms and why it would be useful for that. But Aaron put in this screenshot, which is really fascinating. It says useful especially in Zoom Rooms. It says it can be used in meetings where it's enabled by the account the administrator, where your voice has been enrolled in your profile. So in other words, a host sets up a meeting, a host says, yep, we can do this smart voice recognition thing. I've recorded a stamp, and it recognizes me either because I have been invited or recognized as a participant, which tells me there's no fencing off. If I register, well, think about when you have registered events. They're public events. If I'm invited, David invites me to a meeting. We're on two separate domains. So this statement says when you're included in the meeting invite, true, or recognized as a participant, registration, that tells me it's not fenced off. It's not limited to your domain.
That makes sense.
Now, I get it in a Zoom room. You know, if I'm on the IBM campus or whatever, and I go into Building B, Conference Room 7, and I walk in, I get where it says, okay, Jason's here. This is what he said in the transcript. Later in the afternoon, I go to Building C, Meeting Room 2. Okay, I get that. But this is telling me David sets up a meeting, and it applies here too.
I agree with that, and again, there's an option in here under the settings for notify me when a smart name tag for voice is attributed to my account. So yeah, you walk in somewhere else and they do it, you can get notified if you want to that they've identified you.
Now I wonder what options that gives me as a user, right? Like what privacy options? You know, like Facebook, you know, auto tag everybody in this picture, yes or no? Okay, yes. And, you know, then you get a notification that you appeared in somebody's photo.
And what if it is a fake voice? What if someone is pretending to be Jason?
I'm not sure you can do anything about that. I mean, essentially, don't turn this on. If you're concerned about the privacy of it.
I'm saying when he's getting notified that he's been identified in a meeting, what if it is wrong? Can he
No,
go
but what I'm saying is that
and
if he doesn't have this turned on, then he can't get identified in a meeting.
I understand. And I'm not saying that I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying, is there a way of in that meeting where you're misidentified to go in and say, hey, that's not me?
Right. What I'm saying is that if you choose to not turn this on, then it's impossible for anyone to pretend to be you unless they have access to your account. Zoom cannot mistakenly assign this to you if you don't have this turned on.
That last part's a true thing. Zoom can't assign it to you, but anyone can go in and impersonate you in a meeting. And I think that
if you haven't trained Zoom to know your voice, if you haven't turned this feature on, then it doesn't matter if someone impersonates you.
Well, it matters, David, not because Zoom attributes it, but because the guy who's sitting there on the Zoom meeting says, I've got the CEO right here. He's got something to say. And someone says something and he's not in the video. And someone says, okay, there you heard it from the CEO. This doesn't stop someone from impersonating you. It just stops Zoom from recognizing you.
Right, but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about this Zoom feature that auto recognizes.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But to me, the real issue is, you know, we look at the big picture. You have to be careful when you're in someone else's office what you say if you don't know whether they're on a meeting or not, whether this identification feature is there or not. I think that you could turn this on knowing pretty reasonably that if Zoom tagged you somewhere, it was probably you. Now, I don't know the algorithm they're using, but I'm sure they're using some sort of voice print matching or whatever. I mean, there's so many voices out there. How do they know that I'm not Donald Duck? I don't know. But reasonable certainty that it would say, hey, you were detected over in this meeting, and then you could go, oh, wait a minute. I was in somebody's office. I didn't realize they were on a meeting and had the mic hot.
Provided that you submitted a voice stamp to Zoom.
Correct.
Right. And I think that's where the difference is in how Zoom is doing this, because, I mean, all this is going out onto YouTube, but we've got years and years and years of YouTube. So I can go in and I can create a deep fake Lois voice just based off of previous years of of recordings. But where Zoom is doing it differently is saying, okay, you go into your Zoom account, you submit a voice recording so that we've got a voice print. However, what I don't see is, now, does that stay in all meetings that Jason creates? No, it appears that it goes across all of Zoom. So some meeting that I sign up for next month from the local Toastmasters Club, I register for or I'm invited for, and if I made a voice recording, it would recognize. I'm guessing it's like, oh yeah, email address, check. Do we have voice stamp for that? Yes, we do. Okay, listen. Oh, yeah, we have a match. Okay, therefore it must be Jason. That's what I think is going on.
And my question was really, are they going to make mistakes?
Is it a computer? Is it software?
Yeah. So, yeah, but it's new. It's new. That's
My take is it really depends on the algorithm they use. I mean, forensically, they do DNA testing, they do fingerprint identification, and someone can go in and go, that is or isn't, and is the algorithm smart enough, programmed well enough so that it really can differentiate 1 in 5 billion voices?
Well, look at Zoomtopia when the CEO Eric had his AI avatar with, with the English voice, and many people were commenting, I prefer the AI's voice over real Eric's voice. Okay, so this is the CEO delivering a message, and we're supposed to believe that. I don't know what authentication or protocols are in place to prevent a deep fake, but it's possible, right? I mean, if you have the right keys, it's possible.
Yeah. And again, the deep fake that we saw was probably, someone probably said, no, we can't really have Eric with his full accent here. I don't know how it turned out, but that particular signature then is generated by AI. And is there some sort of a tell in a AI generated voice print that smart software can go, this was not the original speaker? I would think noise gates and high pass, low pass filters and all that sort of stuff probably have some effect on it. Certainly, if you run it through, the voice maker software and sound like Donald Duck, it's not going to recognize you, I would think. But
so we're back to context. There's a speaker in Zoomtopia, and you got to believe that it's the Zoom guy.
Well, and again, the thing that I think all of us recognized when he introduced his twin is that, that kind of looks like Eric. But the moment he started to talk, 5 words into it, I knew that was not Eric's natural speaking voice. Now, is Zoom AI, the virtual avatar thing, smart enough to go, this is what his voice sounds like, but when I create the sounds, I'm going to make them sound like an English person, a native born English person who knows English and nothing else. And to me, I think, I don't know, I think someone else went in and spoke English on Eric's behalf. Let's find someone that kind of sounds like Eric, but with an American accent.
I think it
don't
was
know.
AI generated. And what I did y'all catch, because I didn't, and I was looking for it, I haven't found it yet. If it's AI, if it's generative AI on the audio track, then therefore wouldn't that also allow translation? So if I wanted to hear Eric speak in Spanish, if I wanted to hear him speak in Romanian, like all of that would be available just like it is now in text, but through generative audio.
I think that would be wonderful. I would love to do that. I'm doing an international nursing conference in April, and I would love to have all of my tutorials done with me talking, but in 14 different languages. That would be great.
I think maybe that's the direction it's going.
That's where they're going with it.
Gotta go, guys. See
See you, Lois.
Okay, so that's smart recognition. Bum, 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 bum. Simplified meeting transfer from Zoom Workplace mobile app to Zoom Rooms. Running late notification option. Users in a current Zoom meeting can notify participants of an upcoming meeting that they will be late. Huh. The feature introduces a running late notification option across several interfaces, including upcoming meeting notifications and the calendar card. When selected, the system automatically sends a pre-formatted message to participants in the upcoming Zoom meeting. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
The hand gestures, which we already played with.
You're not sharing this on screen.
What? Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. Was that your intent?
No,
To there we go.
My quality was so crummy. I'm feeling guilty.
That's good now.
Hand gestures and enhancements to watermark controls. Watermark visibility separated for shared content and video feeds during meetings. Oh.
Do you know about the watermark, David?
I didn't realize that now that watermark was for just the entire experience. And now you can separate it. You can say just for screen shares or just for video.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Post-meeting feedback pop-up. Users will experience a redesigned post-meeting interface with improved navigation to meeting resources. The enhanced pop-up features more intuitive entry points to access AI Companion. I never have this. I never get a pop-up after a meeting. Is that because I'm the host? Or is that because I don't have feedback turned on?
It's because they know you don't like answering surveys, David.
Do you have to have feedback turned on in order to
There is an enablement to turn on the post-meeting feedback somewhere. I don't.
Is that what it's talking about? Because I have that turned off. I know. Yep, that's it. Yep. So
the end of meeting experience
feedback
feedback survey.
This is a very generic one. And
that top one.
At our university, we have faculty members who use it for feedback specifically on a lecture that they're doing that day and might ask a follow-up question and can give you the resources linked to handouts or other materials. So it's another touch point. You've probably seen it a lot on some devices where at the end of a voice over computer, over internet phone call, it says, how was this, how was the quality? So this is
right, but this is more than that, I think.
It is. You can make it considerably more.
Yeah, this is, you have access to the meeting notes and all that, and I'm not sure where post-meeting interface. See, it's enhancements to post-meeting feedback pop-up. That's what I'm not sure about.
Okay, so here, David, what you're sharing, where it says feedback to Zoom, before you leave that screen. Oh, yeah. Too late.
I'll go back. Go ahead.
Yes, exactly. Learn more. In the current version, or maybe the version of last month, if that feature was turned off and a user left a meeting, the web page would open up and it would say really generic question like, how was this meeting? I forget exactly what the word was, but some along those lines, you could thumbs up or you could thumbs down. But that feedback went to Zoom. That feedback didn't go to the host or co-host of the meeting. If you wanted feedback for the meeting, like an example that John was talking about, when you set up the meeting under surveys, you could enable that type of feedback, but not general feedback to Zoom, thumbs up, thumbs down. Now, what I read in this list of things to come is maybe they blow that out a little bit to give some more information.
This is still feedback to Zoom.
It's not to the user or the host. If you want that, you can, but you have to do it in the survey that's tied to the meeting ID.
Right. So maybe it's there. Maybe it's create survey. All right, I don't really want to do the tour. Language is available. Okay. No, I'm what I just, it's not clear to me where that is. Okay, well, maybe it's not out yet. I don't know. Or maybe when we close this meeting, we'll all see it. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, but then again, I haven't used. There's something flying around here. I haven't used the vanilla Zoom, so I wonder if that's. All right, we'll see. Enhancement to voice recording speaker identification. Okay, users can manage speaker identification in real time during voice recorded meetings. That's the thing I showed you before. System displays generic speaker text in the live transcript that you can update with actual participant names. Oh no, wait a second. I didn't see that. Let me open that back up again and see if we can do that. Give me a second here. It's just connecting. Okay. So now I'm going to go to here and no, Zoom. Okay. So record. So I'm now recording. Hello, I'm recording and I'm just going to see, we're going to let this go for a minute. It's only going to be my voice, but unknown. So now if I click on unknown, I can't do anything. So I'm not sure how I'm supposed to, maybe it's after the fact. Pause. Done. End recording. Let's see if now I can do something to it. Now where is that recording? Dude, come on. What, like,
Is it under the three dots top right above the record button?
no.
Oh, where did it go?
Where, like, really? Is it in clips? Shouldn't be in clips. No.
You've got a red notification under the three dots on the bottom right of the screen. No.
Mail. No. All right, well, that's a little upsetting. So I have no idea where it is now, and I don't know how I can actually do what it says here. Unless, let me just check and see if maybe there's an update that I don't have yet. For maybe the update, didn't post for this Zoom yet. No, I think there's nothing yet. Let me see when Zoom last updated, because that will be the question. Can I find Zoom? How do I find Zoom? I guess I could just go into Zoom itself, right, and look at the what do you call it? The number. Oh wait, I just found it. Look at that. Oh, all right. Wait a second. Now, why is it there? Look at this. What?
Oh,
What?
that doesn't jump out and grab your attention.
Well, but I don't even. And now the whole top is different. What is going on here? I don't have the 5 but hold on. I'm so confused. Let me okay. All right. Now it's back. So, and now again, I can't find it. Oh, that's when you're actively, okay. When you're actively recording, if you go back, you get this. It still doesn't show you where the recording goes though. Okay. That's fine. So now done. End recording. Saving recording. And it's gone again.
You don't know where it saved it to.
I have no idea. That's
And it's interesting that it keeps saying unknown user, unknown voice, because you're signed into your account. So
right.
you would think there would be some authentication there. Oh, I mean, not that I couldn't open up your phone and talk into it, but at least you would
Well,
think
but
it
no,
would
because the whole
assume.
idea here is that you open it up in a meeting and everyone's talking into it. So I'm fine with it not knowing who I am, but I would like to be able to like see what I just did.
Hmm.
No,
Yeah, I'm confused as well.
okay. Well,
It's not just you. I was confused too.
let me just jump over here into so on my desktop, sorry. So all right, so you can see it on my desktop. Here they are on my desktop under recordings and transcripts, which apparently it doesn't look like I can get to that from the mobile device. So let me jump in here. I still don't see how I can change the voices, the names rather. Yeah, audio watch, audio transcript. Yeah, it just downloads it. See, again, this is why I like this.
If you go back, David, to that, click right there.
Which one?
You're there now. At the top of that, where the blue cloud recordings is there, look at the one that says transcripts just to the right of that.
Yep. So I've got download, delete, and then
there's no edit. Okay.
No. And this is the thing that kind of killed it for me before. Like this is great, but I need to be able to. Let me go into summaries and see what it is. So here it does summaries for these also. So here's the summary, but again, I can't. It says right at the bottom, AI generated content may be inaccurate or misleading. I can't change this. I can't.
You can't make it accurate.
This is the piece that drives me berserk.
I think we need a guest from HQ to walk us through this feature.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Okay. Enhancements a microphone modes easily. Oh, this is a big one, right? This is the big one. Well, it's one of the big ones. So let me bring this down here, and I'll come over here. No, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Actually, did that work? What are you guys seeing right now?
You're seeing your gallery view.
Oh, good. Okay, so let me just change something so I can make sure that this works. I hadn't thought about doing it this way. Okay, yeah, that works. So, and I'll spotlight. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Okay, so now if you click on the little doohickey next to audio,
it's called the carrot.
Thank you, the carrot. It's a doohickey. You have now microphone modes at the bottom here. You've got noise removal, which is the default, personalized audio isolation, and I do think it's interesting that they put that next instead of original sound next, and then original sound. And now, and this is the big deal, the original sound for musicians on or off at the top of your screen or Zoom window is no longer a button. It's just an indicator. You set it from here. You set it from here. So right now, for some reason right now I have it on. I don't even know why. It's on original sound for musicians. So if I want to not have that on.
Yeah, I heard a big difference.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. And how far down did you have to scroll because of all the devices you have plugged into? Well, it depends
right. I mean, if you have this many devices, if you only have one or two devices, it'll be right there.
But it's basically down at the bottom of the list.
Select a microphone, underneath select a speaker.
And before audio settings and test your microphone.
These are your modes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And again, I think that could be good. That could be not good.
It makes it intentional, but I think maybe we talked about this last week or the week before. I love that hot button up in the upper right hand corner, because if I'm playing music, I turn on original sound, and
I
then as
agree.
soon as the music is done, I turn it back to Zoom default.
I do the exact same thing. I agree 100%. And this doesn't let you do that.
Not quickly.
And so the next thing that I need is a toggle switch that I can assign hotkeys to just be able to toggle between those two.
And it becomes another setting in BitFocus Companion.
No, I just want a vanilla Stream Deck one, or just a hotkey. I don't need it to be fancy, but that doesn't exist yet. Yeah, that's a big change.
Yikes.
Yeah. Dynamic island support for managing meetings. Live active activities integration.
It's
Ooh,
iOS only.
yeah. You
I
get
like
the meeting
islands.
title, current speaker, number of participants. Wow. You actually get a lot of information in there. Huh. Allow alternative hosts to manually reclaim host status when rejoining. That actually seems like sort of a big deal. So when I left this meeting and then came back in, I was immediately given a button that said, "Hey, do you want to be host again?" Now, I actually don't think I clicked it, but somehow I ended up host again anyway. But now the same is true for alternative hosts. If they get kicked out or whatever, or they just have to leave for a moment, they can now regain reclaim host.
And I haven't tested this yet, but I wonder if it's specific that you were the host when you lost your connectivity.
Yes,
That it
it
then
says that.
allows you to reclaim. Okay, I didn't see
Yeah,
the fine print
no,
there.
it says when alternative host who was acting as the meeting host
Okay,
disconnects and then rejoins, they must manually reclaim host status. So Dave was saying he was the host, he was the creator of this event, he left the event, he came back, he got an automatic pop-up that says, "Hey, do you want to take the stick?" If you're an alternate host who's acting as a host, you leave the meeting, get disconnected, your internet goes out, and you come back, you have to manually do the process. You don't get the automatic, "Hey, welcome back, do you want to take the stick?" bubble.
and do we know how that occurs? How the manual process occurs? It's typically at the bottom of the participant window. So if you were to join a meeting and you were never the host and you never clicked on the little button to become the host and you are the owner of the meeting, you can go to the bottom of the participant window and there should be a button there to reclaim host.
Down,
So I'm
around like
guessing that
invite, mute me, and reclaim or something. It would be down along there.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they enable that for an alt host if they were the host before they got disconnected.
Cool. Guys, clock on the wall says I need to bug out. Thank you for another great kitchen.
You're leaving?
Jason?
I got to.
Oh, I just messaged you if I could pass host to you. All right. Well, we'll say goodbye, I guess. Wait, but can I just ask a quick question? Was this a dream, or did they add a video hub somewhere?
In Zoom events.
It's in Zoom Events? I thought
Zoom Events has a video hub and it's been there for not forever, but they're starting to ramp that up.
I think I honestly don't know if this was a dream or if it actually happened, but I'm having this memory of that they added a new hub for all of your recordings. Maybe it's
the hub. They
hub
enabled that.
No. But and my thought in either my dream or in reality was, wait, they already have a hub. Why didn't they just put them together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to take just a couple of seconds here real quick while you were doing sort of that last bit. I was doing a little research of where can you actually edit and update the transcript. You can actually go to the actual recording, click and be watching the recording, and the audio transcript is on the kind of scroll bar on the right side. So click on the video and begin to play. You can edit there. You can
So it's
individually
tied
edit
into
Right.
the video, into the web player.
and when you click one of those and edit it, it supposedly updates live. I just found that out, and that's going to be pretty cool.
If you use the web player, so that functionality is tied to the web player playback. If you download
And only
your
available to the
recordings,
owner of the recording. So the idea is that if you're going to put this in your video hub or whatever, or have it on demand, and you want the transcript to be accurate, and the guy, as happened in my event 2 weekends ago, has a thick French accent and is, got a whole lot of things wrong in the transcript, this is the way to edit it so that the recording itself, I believe, even in the Zoom event, would actually be correctable at that point. To watch recording.
So here's my question on this. Let's say you're not playing, you're not broadcasting, you're not playing through the web player. Instead, what you do is you record it in the cloud, you pull down the cloud recording, and then you store it in wherever you want to store it and make it available to your audience. So you would, if I go in and I clean up the transcript this way, and then I download the files, would I have a clean transcript that I could use somewhere else, or is it stuck to the functionality of using the Zoom Cloud web player?
The piece that I read, and I've not tested it yet, is that it does update the actual transcript file when you make this edit. So then when you download it, you get the updated one.
The updated
I made a
VTT.
change. Yeah, you can all see this. I know it's really small. I'm sorry. So I made a change. This originally said when you're actively recording, if you go back, is what it originally said. I made a change. I changed it to forward. And then I downloaded it. It says back.
So there might be a time delay of some sort.
Maybe, right.
Maybe it takes
And now I
24
wanna hear if
hours
it-
to update
When you're
across all
actively
the.
recording, if you go back.
And it doesn't change the audio, of course, either.
That would be a
Right.
miracle.
That would be kind of cool.
Well,
Descripts can do
that would be a
actually.
security problem if I
Right.
go into a transcript and make people say things they didn't say.
Yeah.
So
and
so
again,
check it again
changing
in
the
24
transcript
hours.
Changing the transcript is one thing. I want to be able to change the summary and but in any case.
Yep. Anyway,
All right,
I found that. Thought I'd mention it real quick.
We have more to play with next time, but it sounds
Yeah.
like we're going to call it a day for today. Really grateful to all of you. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Great.